What's up, guys? So I know earlier I said that I would sit down and talk to you about why I didn't do the Summer Shredding Classic and why we moved from Houston. So I'm actually outside of the old Gold's Gym here in Meridian. So if you've been watching my channel for a while or followed me on Instagram for a while, you know I used to train here about 3 years ago when we moved back to Idaho. And this is where I did my prep for my show in Chicago. And yeah, I loved it here. This gym was awesome. I have a ton of great memories. I made a lot of YouTube videos here, did Instagram, I do like live videos. I was just thinking back of all the time here at Gold's Gym and like kind of reflecting back on like my journey, my story so far, and that all ties into why I didn't do the show, the Summer Shredding Classic. And I guess it kind of starts when I was in college. I was watching some videos from like Greg Plitt, like Mark Fit, Lazar Angelov, and I decided I want to be like a fitness model and compete like in the WBFF, win my pro card. I want to have my own clothing company, grow my YouTube channel. Those were like all my like dreams and passions. And I remember we were living in Seattle, Washington, and my wife had gone back to New Orleans to visit her family. And she called me and she said that she was pregnant with our son. And I realized, like, I have to like follow my dream. I have to, go for my goals now, because one day when my son has a goal or a dream, I want to be able to tell him like, hey, look, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. You know why? Because I achieved my dreams, and anything is possible. And I wanted to be able to tell him that and just inspire him to be able to follow his dreams and follow his passion. And later on I ended up competing in 2 shows in less than a year. I did the WBFF in Miami and the WBFF in Chicago, and I got 3rd place in both of those shows. And I did my prep right here at Gold's Gym, and I loved it. I documented like the whole process of competing and the whole process of getting ready for the show. And I discovered like making YouTube videos and just how much I loved it and creating content and following my passion. And then later on we moved around a bunch. Life kind of like punched me in the face, and I kind of forgot about like my dream. And then we later on moved back to Boise, and we actually lived in the townhouses right here. And I remember actually this morning thinking, like, when we used to come to Gold's Gym, I would drive by these townhouses every day thinking, like, man, it'd be pretty cool to live in those houses. They were, like, cool, modern, but I didn't realize the reason that I actually wanted to live there was because it was so close to the gym. Not because I like going to the gym, but because I wanted to go, like, super early in the morning or super late at night when there wasn't a lot of people, film my videos and make cool, like, content on YouTube. And that was actually the reason that I liked those houses, because they were so close. I could just walk right on over, like call a videographer, like, hey, yo, meet me at the Gold's Gym, we'll film a video. And that was like the reason why I wanted to live there. And later on, we actually lived in those apartments. And I didn't realize, though, like why. Gold's Gym actually shut down like a week or 2 after we moved back. So I ended up training at Axiom. We ended up like moving around in the complex a little bit, and then it got to the point like we couldn't afford to live there anymore just because it was like super expensive. I was like working 3 jobs, like it was crazy. But one day on Instagram, I was looking at Christian Guzman's stories, and he was always somebody that I had like looked up to or like kind of inspired me, because he was doing something similar to what I wanted to do, not necessarily like the exact same thing, but something similar. So I saw that he was like hiring for the position, working like at the Alpha Elite warehouse, and I was like, dang, like that'd be cool. And like my wife and I were kind of talking about moving from Boise at the time because things weren't really going our way. A lot was our fault, but I saw that as like an opportunity to go to Houston, learn from Christian, because he had his own clothing company. He was, in my opinion, one of the best YouTubers, and I was like, dang, like this is a cool opportunity to be able to learn from him. I guess the light just turned off. But yeah, I saw that as an opportunity, and we literally packed up the car, our Toyota Camry, and we had that thing jam-packed. So we ended up leaving Boise on, I think, a Wednesday afternoon, drove all day Wednesday, got to Price, Utah. There was this big snowstorm in Provo, so we ended up staying in Price, Utah, kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. I go to the grocery store, it's like 11 o'clock at night, go home, or the hotel, ended up getting there about 12, got maybe like 4.5 hours of sleep, woke up at 4:30, packed up the car again, and we drove straight. I literally stopped 3 times to take a 20-minute nap from Utah all the way to Houston, Texas. And if you guys have ever been through Texas, like, it is a big state. Took 10 hours to get through Texas on road. And New Mexico is pretty big too. So we did a lot of driving. Ended up making it 5 minutes before my interview. We were in the parking lot across the street from Alphalete Warehouse. I ended up shaving, changing, doing my hair in 5 minutes, going into the Alphalete Warehouse, and got the job. One of my very first weekends in Houston, I was working at the Alphalete Warehouse, and it was going to be like one of my very first shifts. I had to be there at 7:30. This was like a Friday. So the Alphalete gym opens at 5 a.m., and I was thinking, all right, I'm going to show up at the gym at 5 o'clock, be there right when it opens, get my workout in, get ready, go to the warehouse, and start my shift at 7:30. And I was like, maybe Christian will be there, like, you know, they got a launch that day. Maybe he'll go get his workout in like early, before he's at the office, and maybe I'll see him. So I show up at the gym. It's 5 o'clock. Like, nobody's there. I'm one of the only people, and Christian's not there. I'm like, dang, like I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm early. Like, this is the dude that, you know, he has his own clothing company. He's got, you know, a bunch of businesses, energy drink company. Like, basically, I kind of viewed him like as my mentor. I wanted to learn from him, and I was like, dang, like I'm beating it, and like I'm ahead. You know, I came to my workout. He's not even here yet, and then I show up at the warehouse, and in the parking lot is his Audi R8. So I'm like, maybe he's like didn't even work out. Like I'm like, oh wow, I'm like doing really well. And then I go up to the warehouse, and there's a bunch of people waiting outside the gym that work there, and they were talking like, yo, did you see Christian's Instagram story? Like, he was up at like 3:30, worked out at the gym like at 3:30. Like, he's crazy, he doesn't sleep. And I was like, damn, okay, like I guess he was like 3 hours ahead of me, not, you know, I wasn't ahead of him. And that's when I realized like the amount of work and effort that you have to put in to, you know, have your own business and be big on YouTube and all, you know, basically all the things that I wanted to accomplish. I saw the work that was required like firsthand, and I thought I was doing good waking up at 5, but he was already done with his workout and at the office by the time that I was even starting my workout. And that's when I realized like, okay, cool, like I gotta step up. And a week or so later, I ended up meeting Christian. I was like, the Alphalete was having their 5-year anniversary, little birthday celebration at the gym, and they had a launch for their clothing, and so they had some new stuff that day. And I was actually in the gym, like in the little front area where they have the clothes, and they have like a little store where they sell the clothes. And so I was searching through the women's stuff. I'm like holding a couple like sports bras for Laura, and got some like leggings, and I had my hood on, I think, and I was just like doing my thing, looking for my wife's clothes. And I hear somebody like, what are you looking for, bro? And I was like, I turned around, and it was Christian, and he actually like helped me find some stuff for Lauda, and it was pretty cool. And like, he was just super humble, really down to earth, like really helpful. And he's like, oh dude, are you getting some stuff for you? And I was like, yeah. I showed him like the shorts, actually the shorts that I have on right now, and he actually helped me pick them out and made sure I got the right size. And he was super cool, like super down to earth, and it was great to meet him. And then later I ran into him a few times, like at the warehouse, and just like said what's up. But he's really cool dude. Unfortunately, like with the COVID and everything, I didn't really get to see him too much. Then he started building Alpha Land, so he was not really at the gym too much. So this video is going to be about why I didn't compete in summer shredding, not so much about my experience at Alphalete. Like Christian, great dude, cool dude. A lot of stuff at the gym like wasn't really like all that I thought it was gonna be. Like the gym wasn't like too clean, or, you know, just things like that. But I can go more into depth on that in a future video if you guys would be interested. So let me know down in the comments if you want to hear like my full experience with Alphalete Gym, like the warehouse and all that. But yeah, Christian, cool dude. So that's one of the main reasons though why I didn't compete in summer shredding. Like, I always I always kind of viewed him as like a mentor. Like, I want to have my own clothing company one day, grow my YouTube channel, and build businesses to help people and help them get their goals, inspire people to follow their dreams. And that's what I want to do. And so I always kind of viewed Christian as like somebody that was doing something similar to what I want to do. Obviously, I want to do things my way, and have my own different like values and things like that, and things that are important to me. So it's going to be obviously in my way, but it was somebody that I kind of looked up to as somebody that was doing something similar to what I wanted to do. So I never really considered myself like a fan of Christian. I went to Houston with the intent to learn from him, and that's what I did. I went and learned, and I saw firsthand, like, things that I can improve on, things that he was doing well, and I learned the most that I could. And then I had signed up for the summer shredding the year before, because it was going to be a big show in Texas, and I thought it would be cool to do it. We were living in Houston at the time, and then we ended up moving to Idaho, and I didn't do the show. So this year I was like, you know what, I said I was going to do the show, and I thought it would be really cool to, document a cut for YouTube and kind of show that. And I thought it'd be cool to do the show and I guess, do something that I said I was going to do that I didn't. And that was why I started the series, The Takeover. So as I did the prep, I felt like I was ready, like I felt great. And I had already competed before in the WBFF. So I'd done 2 shows, and as the show, it got closer and closer to the show, and they were sending out like the emails. So I was actually going through the Instagram, the Summer Shredding Instagram, and I saw this post, and it was like, hey guys, like, make sure you get ready for the show, like the judge is gonna be here. Oh, and by the way, Christian is one of the judges, like with a wink. And that was like when I started thinking about it, I was like, wait, this isn't like a show for like the competitors. This is like a meetup basically for people that want to compete in a show that Christian does. I mean, I totally respect the show and everybody that competed, that's awesome. But for me, it was like, I didn't want to come across as like, so they had a meeting like a couple days before where you could go meet Christian, take pictures with him, meet the judges, and they were all people like associated with Alphalete or, fitness influencers. And I didn't personally want to come across as a fan, because I think you have to respect yourself. I know Christian does have a lot of fans, and that's cool. But for me, I was already like working out. Christian never inspired me to like work out. I did learn a lot about the gym or about like business and things like that from him, but I always viewed him as like my mentor. I didn't view myself as a fan. So I decided, like, after hearing all, the things about the meeting and how the show was going to go, and like how you could meet Christian, and basically all the athletes were judges, and it just really came across as like something that I didn't want to do. Another time when I realized like, all right, this isn't really my thing, was the Saturday morning before the week before the show. So we'd already checked into a hotel. I went to the gym at like 11, and the gym was pretty full. Like, that was the most people like that I had ever seen, apart from anything like that Alphalete was doing. Like a bunch of the competitors were there. Like, I guess they'd gotten there early to train at Alphalete for the week before the show, and a bunch of them like were practicing their posing. They had like their little groups and like doing the little twisting and like almost, I don't know, man. Like, I just was looking around. I was like, like, this isn't really like my vibe, like my style. Like, all the people that I looked up to, and the reason that I got into like fitness wasn't because of like people that were competing. It was like Lazar Angelov, Greg Plitt. They didn't compete. Like Mark Fit, he never competed. And I was like, like, I don't need to compete. Like, go on with some board shorts on a stage and like be judged against these other people. Like, if I'm gonna compete, I literally want to do it just for fun, like almost to make the content for YouTube. Like, if I'm being honest, just show the diet, like document the diet and getting shredded, but not to compete. Like, I felt like I had gone to Houston to learn from Christian. I had accomplished that. I had met a bunch of cool people, and I was grateful for all the people that I met. And I didn't really feel like the competition was necessary or something that I wanted to do because, one, I'd already competed in the WBFF, and I almost felt like this was like a step below that. Nothing against anybody that competed. This video is not meant to, you know, make myself like above anybody. I'm just, hopefully it can help somebody out there. But I almost felt like that show was a chance for people to meet Christian. I mean, it's Summer Shredding Classic, like it's based on his YouTube series, so it makes sense. Like it's a celebration of people that did the Summer Shredding, you know, Summer Shredding series. So it's totally cool. I personally, I don't view myself as like a fan of Christian. Like I wouldn't watch the videos for entertainment. I never watch his videos for entertainment. I watch his videos to learn like how to do things, because in my opinion he was one of the best YouTubers. So that's why I watched it. So I didn't feel like I really had any business like being at the show. Like it wasn't I did Summer Shredding, but like it wasn't, I did it because I wanted to get shredded. And yeah, and so yeah, I guess I'm not saying I'm never going to compete, but when I do compete, it's going to be in, you know, my own completely different thing. Like if I had a show, I wouldn't expect Christian to come compete in my show. I wouldn't expect like Rob Lipset or Mark Fit or anybody that does like, you know, a fitness thing to come to my show. So I think like if you're serious about being in the fitness industry, if you want to be your own thing, like if you want to be or do what Christian does one day, like maybe the Summer Shredding thing isn't for you. Maybe it's a good, you know, jump start or something cool to do, like if you really want to. But like whereas I want to, you know, be there one day at that level or above, I just didn't feel like it was my thing. And that's just my opinion. Like that's just how I felt. I just want to be real with you guys and share that. So I'm not saying like I'm about to go get the most shredded that I can for Mike Woodings, for Mike Woodings Fitness, for my website, to start my clothing company one day. And I want to share with you guys all that I know and all my knowledge. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope it helps, and I hope, you know, all of this is with love. Like I just want, if somebody's out there that has a big dream, follow your big dream and do the best that you can. Stay in your lane and do your thing. And thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.